I tried recording this once and it didn't really work out because it was jumping around. But I don't know what I'm making this for or who I will be making this for. I just felt like I needed to put this out there without hearing a response, because a lot of the responses are the same. I just don't want to hear it. I just want people to listen. That's all. I just want to talk, because that's what vlogging is. It's just practically talking and showing people part of your life. So in a previous video I've mentioned that I had a boyfriend, and we were together for 3 years. We got together in October 23rd on a cold, breezy fall afternoon. It was after school. It was the day after the homecoming dance. And that was a good night already. And that night, I knew that I liked him a lot. Not loved yet, but I did like him a lot. And I asked my best friend to ask him out for me because I was scared. And she did. And he said no, only because he wanted to hear me say it. Which is understandable. So he was waiting in front of my old elementary school, which is near our high school. And he waited there, and I went there, and I asked him, and he said yeah. And I soon found out that he was also gonna ask me a day after, which was funny. And then things just went up from there. I 2 months, I think, not even, like a month and a half into our relationship, I got into a car accident where I was hit by a car on my side. And then I remember so vividly what happened. I got hit, I got up, I was in shock. But the first thing I did, I didn't even tell my parents. I immediately just texted him. I was like, I got hit by a car. And he was checking if I was okay. He messaged me, but there was other people around, and they were like, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I gotta go to school. I was such a nerd back then. I was like, I gotta go back to school. I gotta, like, I don't know, I just had the urge to go back to school. And then but I went to the hospital, I got checked, nothing was broken, nothing was bruised, just little cuts, nothing permanent. And that really scared me. That was severe. That was a close call for me. Then a month later, he went over to my annual family Christmas party. And also first time ever bringing a guy to a family party. And I was kind of scared, not gonna lie. But that night was good. We mostly just hung around each other, and not a lot of my family came. So it was a little laid back that year. And we just chilled. We played Heads Up on my phone. And I remember sitting on my aunt's couch, and we were playing. And the name Batman came up and I had to describe it to him. And it was so funny that night. I wish I could reenact it. I wish I could. And then we pranked 2 of my friends that night saying that we broke up. And it was so funny to see the reactions. It was so good. And then the year went on. It was good. We celebrated our first Valentine's Day together. I made him cookies and everything. And did a little surprise date in our French classroom. And it was funny because I told my best friend to distract him while he went to get Snapples from the vending machine. And then we just had a little date in the corner of our French class after school. It was good. It was really good. It was a good day. And then after that, we just didn't remember much after that year. We spent our 1 year that year, and he got me a ring. It was a cute little rose gold ring, and it was like a little crown. It was my favorite. I would flip out every time I lost it, and I got so upset when it started to rust. And then our second year, going into our second year, was messy. I'm not sure if it was at the end of the year. So like, I think it was the end of 2016 or maybe the end of 2017 when I gave him a phone. I'm not sure. I think it was the end of 2017, but that's later. But like, throughout our second year was going pretty good. It was going really, really nice. And I think we did have our ups and downs. There was that, like every couple should have at least a couple times, not purposely have them, but just disagreement or two. And then we had those. We celebrated. I think it was my 15th birthday. And then was it my 16th? I can't remember. I think it was at my 16th birthday. It was so pure. I invited a bunch of my friends over. We just hanged out, and it was good. I just stayed by his side, stayed on mine. We hung out with our friends. And I skipped over the second family Christmas party where the whole family was there. That one was nice. That one. I thought that one. That was the point where it solidified. And so we were sitting in my aunt's kitchen just talking and holding hands, and my family just came up and talked to us. He talked to my cousin, I think, about roller coasters. I remember taking a video of it and saying he's getting along with my family, and it was really pure that he was getting close with my family, because I didn't really have a lot of family parties. And then after that, it was good. We celebrated his 16th birthday. It was just at his house. We were all playing video games. Him, his friends, and me. We were just hanging out. Sweet teenagers. And then it was summer. He had marching band, I had soccer, so we didn't really see each other as much, which was fine because we went through it before, so it wasn't anything new. I think. I don't remember where. We were just, it was good. I mean, it was hard because like there'll be times where I would be really, really tired and I would just crash on my bed, and then there'll be times where he would just crash and it would just be hard for us to communicate. Of course, we had class together, but it's not like you just have a full-blown conversation in the middle of class. But we did have time for each other. He would come over almost every day, just walk me home, hang around at my house for a little bit. His brother would pick him up, and he would just go home. And then, if we had time, we would talk at night. You know, it was really good. And then this was Christmas, and he was talking about wanting an iPhone and everything, and as a joke, he said, "Why don't you give me your iPhone?" Because I was going to trade it in. And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And I was all serious. And I gave him my old phone. And he had it. I was getting frustrated trying to restart the phone and everything. But I just gave it back to him, and I told him that he just had to bring it to the store, to whatever service plan he had, and just sort of hand it to them and they'll do the rest. And I remember the day when I found out that he had an iPhone. I don't know if it was during Christmas break, I think. And I was at the mall with my friends. We were just leaving. We were in the car. We were driving out of the parking lot. And I just see the blue box. And I just screamed in the car. My best friend was driving. It was so funny because they were all yelling at me, telling me that I could have crashed the car because of me yelling. But I didn't really care too much. I was just happy that my boyfriend had an iPhone. And then, I'm not sure if it was the next day or 2 days later, we just FaceTimed, and it was really good. I took a bunch of pictures of him, and he was doing all these goofy poses and everything. It was pure. And then later on in the year, we celebrated my 17th birthday. And that was good. Nothing too crazy. Celebrated his. We were still talking on the phone almost every day. We would FaceTime. We would just talk randomly on the weekends, or sometimes on the weekdays. Some days when he was out, I would try and talk to him, being that I would have a little more time to see him, even though he wasn't at school. And it was good. And then I don't know where I'm going with this. I'm just gonna leave it uncut. Then after that, the summer, going into our senior year, he became friends with this girl. And at first I didn't know of her. Or at least I don't think I did. And he had marching band and I had soccer and we're just used to it. Like, we understood everything. And at this point, our schedules didn't really collide, so I was able to see some of the games, like the home games that he was marching in, and it was good. It was really good. And I remember every single game that I went to, I would always record for him. I would always record his performance and just send it to him, because that's what I always wanted to do. And then marching band was over, and I was getting a little close with this girl, and I wasn't too comfortable with that. And then I did tell him that I was uncomfortable, but he just said not to worry about it, because she's his best friend, and that they were just close because of marching band. So I did pay much mind, but I tried not to. And we did celebrate our 3rd year. He got me another ring. It was a lot simpler than the first one. It was a little silver ring with my birthstone on it. It was really, really simple, but I loved it. I loved it so much. I loved it more than the first one. And it was good. It's really good. We spent the day, I don't remember. I don't know if we cooked or we just ordered food or anything. But that was that. And then Christmas was rolling around, and he was hanging out with this girl a little more often than I was comfortable with, because we didn't really see each other as much since I was already planning my 18th birthday at the time, and that was a really big deal in my culture. So I didn't really have time to hang out, but when I did, I tried. I really did. But he was busy with whatever it was, and I was busy with whatever I had to do. And that was that. We were, well, I don't know. I can't speak for him. But it was hard. And it only got harder further down the road. Then Christmas rolled around, and I tried to be nice. I did try to be friends with his best friend, but it was just hard. And then it didn't really work out. Then he was offered a role in our school's play for a decently main role. Of course, there wasn't a lot of lines, but it was a pretty big deal for him and me. And they got a lot closer, and I was not comfortable with it. Obviously, I got upset because I thought we would have more time to spend with each other, but that was the case. And then they just spent a lot of time during practice and outside of practice. I didn't really complain too much, but I was just hearing a bunch of stuff that I didn't like hearing. It wasn't that bad. It was just the stuff that people thought was going on between them. Like, they just thought that they were being really flirty and everything. And even my best friend was like, he's being way too close to her. And I was just like, no, it's because he doesn't know anyone there and he's not as comfortable being there. Because that's what he told me. And I told my best friend that. And that was that. Then before my 18th birthday was a rough patch because I was getting really frustrated because we weren't seeing each other as much, and my birthday was practically all set. And then he told me, I promise you things are gonna get better after your birthday. We're gonna spend more time together, and I promise we'll see each other more. I held him for his word. And then after my birthday, the practices started to get harder. A lot of them started to be more mandatory, so he couldn't really walk me home, or I couldn't just hang out with him after school really that much, because he would just have practice right after. So I would just go home and just wait. Of course, we had times where we'd talk on the phone at night, but it wasn't enough. And we did see each other in school for like a while. Some days I would stay at school until like 4 o'clock, 4:30, just because that was the only time I was able to hang out with him. And then after that, the play came around. I was super excited to see it. Every time he came on stage, I was so excited. Two of my friends, our friends, were there, and I would hit his shoulder every time. It was his scene, and it was so funny because I've never been so happy to see someone on stage before. Like, I recorded every single scene he was in, or at least I tried to. Took so many pictures of him that night. It was good. And then after that, I thought since the play was over, we would have time to spend time together. That wasn't the case either. It started to be less and less FaceTimes. We wouldn't talk as much as we used to. I wouldn't send him as much stuff on Instagram as much. But I was trying to be content with what I had. It was hard, but I pulled through somehow. And then we had a falling out before, I think it was spring break, a week before or something. And I don't remember what it was, but I wished it ended there. Oh, I remember. I sort of remember, at least. All I remember is texting him, we need to talk. Then he came over my house. We talked in front of my stairs, and we were just talking about what was wrong. And he did say that I needed to mature, and that was the case. And I did tell him about the whole other girl thing. And then it just turned into maturity. And I told him, then I'll mature by myself. And I really wish that was it. Because we gave each other our last kiss. Or at least what we thought was our last kiss. And then our last goodbye. I told him I loved him. He loved me too. And then we promised each other that we wouldn't look after one another, that we wouldn't look for anyone else, that we would wait a bit. I told him that there wouldn't be anyone else that could replace him. And 2 days later, I was just like, I miss you and I love you and I want to be back with you. He was like, you gotta, he was like, I need to know that you can be independent. So if this does happen again, that I know that I know that if this ever happens again, that I would know that I could actually leave you and I wouldn't have to worry about you hurting yourself. And I said, okay. And he's like, we can wait a week and we'll see what happens from there. The weekend rolls around. My best friend threw a party for me to make me feel better. And it did. Then later that night, I texted him and I apologized. We made up. And he told me that if I ever did something like this again, where I was jealous of his friend that was a girl, that would be it. That was the last straw. And I should have heeded that warning. I should have listened. I don't know if I should have listened or I should have just never texted him that night. And things didn't really get better. It was the same, but we didn't hang out as much as we used to. We didn't talk as much. We were already falling apart. I just wanted to pretend that we were okay. And just to pretend that we were happy. Like before. That wasn't it. And then, just last week, we were arguing a lot more ever since he became friends with this girl. We were arguing a lot more. And he always defended her. And I can understand that from a certain standpoint. But during those 8 months, from when he started being friends with her to when we started falling apart, that was it. That was our breaking point. I would try and hang out with him, but then he would be busy with something, and I would just be okay with it. I would always try and make him stay a little bit longer and just to spend as much time with him as possible, because I knew I didn't have much time with him. And then just last Sunday, I said some things that I shouldn't have said, or at least reworded them, and that was what broke us. That was what ended our 3 years. And I was devastated. And I was devastated, and I felt numb. My mom wasn't home at the time. She was away for personal reasons. She was away for a week, and my dad was the only one home, and I just felt numb. I just put on some clothes and walked out my house. Didn't know where to go. I tried to call people. My 2 best friends were both at work, so I couldn't really turn to them. Well, one of them said if anything went bad that I could go to his job, but I didn't want to bother him. And I messaged this guy who I shouldn't have. That's a different story. I'll tell it in a few. But so that happened. And that night, after I talked to the guy and he hung out with me for a bit, we played video games again. I felt good. I felt happy, and I just forgot about the whole situation. I don't know. It was just hard. And then at the end of the night, when everything was off and I didn't have any distractions, I sat in my bed and just cried. I felt numb. I felt broken. I felt vulnerable. I never felt like that before. Of course, there was times where I did feel sad and I did feel depressed, but I was never the way I was last week. But that's what it was. And then that Monday, I was destroyed. Those 3 days was just hard. The first day I couldn't smile. I wasn't me. I was just devastated. And I saw him, and he was fine, and he was happy, and it hurt to know that he was happy, but I was okay. I think, I honestly don't know what day it was. The whole week, all of last week was just a blur. Just everything just fused into one. I don't know what day was what and what day I did what, but I just remember giving him all his stuff that he gave me: his sweater, the cardigan, his t-shirt, the cards that he gave me, some of the stuffed animals that he gave me. I just put it in a plastic bag, gave it to his friends in the morning, and I gave him his rings back, or at least one of them. I don't know where the crown is, but I gave the one back with the amethyst on it. I gave the stuff back, and I thought it was doing good. That now I was removing everything that I had of him, almost everything that I had of him, and it was just not throwing it away, but just putting it away somewhere. And then I gave him a Switch, a brand new Switch. It was a Smash Bros. Edition. It had the designs of the characters on the dock and on the controllers, I think, or on the Switch, I'm not sure. And that day, when I gave his friends his stuff back, I went up to him, said, I want my Switch back. I couldn't look him in the eyes. As much as I wanted to, I couldn't. And then he was like, I don't have it. I didn't see your text. And I'm like, okay, but I want it back. And then he was like, okay. And he was ready ripping up all the papers that had any evidence of our affection to one another. And yeah, and that broke me right then and there. That destroyed a part of me so much. Because at that moment, I knew. At that moment, I knew there was no turning back. There was no more second chances. There was no more. There was nothing that could bring back what was. Or what could ever been. All the plans just gone. All the promises were gone. And I just, everything is gone. And I think that was what hurt the most. Because people live on hope. And some things live on hope. But there was no hope for us. I don't even know where I'm going. I'm going on tangents with this. And just that whole week was a mess. Because his friends and my friends, I would say half of them are friends, or most of them are friends with us, with each other. So it was hard because some understood where he was coming from, and some understood where I was coming from. Some thought I was wrong. Others thought that he was wrong. But there's no way to put the finger. This was inevitable. This was practically mutual at this point. It was just something that I was not ready to experience. At least not yet. Because prom is next week, so yeah. But during that whole week, I just ended up seeing him in some way or some form, just in a way, and it hurt. It hurt to see that he was okay and that I was hurting. Of course, he could be hurting on the inside. I just couldn't tell. But from what I saw on the outside, it just didn't seem like he was. And then during that whole week, I just depended on going out a lot and just being around people. I just depended on that, and it was hard, because when I wasn't around people, that I just didn't know how to be not happy, just to be something besides sad. I was so dependent on being around my friends. I didn't know what to do when I'm home alone and just alone in my room. I didn't know what to do. And then, I don't know what day it was during the week, my cousin took me out for sushi. We talked about the situation, and he said that what was going on for the past 8 months was wrong, and that this was deserved in a way. Like, he told me that high school relationships never last, and I always acted like they did, because I was always like, oh, but this one may be different, like, he may be the one, like, just some excuse to make myself believe that there was a future for us. There might have been, but there isn't now. My cousin told me everything, and how even with the people that do marry their high school sweethearts, that they aren't even happy, or just something. There was always something wrong in the marriage. So, yeah. And then, I don't know. Then during that whole week, after talking to my cousin, I felt good about myself. I just felt good. I was focusing on myself. I was focusing on my mental health, at least for a moment. I bought a bunch of books for myself to read since I had more free time, so I can do that now. I was just finding stuff to distract myself, to say the least, rather than accepting and immersing myself, I guess, into this. Because I can't pretend that I'm happy, and I can't just pretend that this doesn't hurt me, because it does. And it'll still hurt for a little bit. I don't know how much longer, but it hurts. And during the weekend, it was good. I was just more focused on myself this weekend and my family, which is good. But then Sunday I felt sad. I didn't know why at first. Then later in the night, I realized that it was a week since since he broke up with me. And that kind of hit hard, because it's been a week since I haven't said I love you to him, or I don't know, made happy memories with him. So that was hard. And yesterday was, I don't know, something else. Yesterday I was talking to my best friend and I was like, I should move on. And she was like, we're gonna find you a guy. And she was like, and I was like, should I download Bumble, which is just a dating app? And she's like, sure, we'll make it together. And I made it. And there are, I'm not gonna lie, there are guys that I am talking to. But I just, nothing. Just nothing. I'm trying to just distract myself in order just to forget him, in a way. It's not working. And apparently, I don't know if it's true or not, but don't quote me, but apparently him and the girl that he's best friends with are dating. I don't know if it's true. I don't know if it's a joke or if he says his Instagram got hacked, but I don't know. But if it is, it hurt. It really did. Not gonna lie. It hurt so much just thinking of all the stuff that he did with me. He's gonna do with her. And how just like the thought of him moving on so fast hurt even more than it did seeing him rip up all the papers. And it's just now he just make that he has someone else that makes him happy that isn't me is what hurts. And I don't know if I'm going with this. I don't even know if I'm gonna post this. Probably. But try to pretend that I was happy. Try to pretend that there was something, I guess. I just try to force myself just to believe in something that I shouldn't. Because right now, I'm just trying to make myself go through all the pain of what could be with them or what could be with him. Of like, he could be with another girl or he could be in love with another girl, and just going through the pain so I don't have to go through it later on. Because I don't know how much it's gonna hurt later on. I know my friends are always like, don't waste your tears on him, he's an asshole, like, he's not worth your tears. But when you lose someone that meant the world to you, just like that, just saying 2 words and 3 years are just gone like that, hurts. And it's hard to just get over it and not cry over it, because it's hard. It really is. It's not easy getting through a breakup, and it won't be, but it's a process that everyone needs to go through at least once in their life. And it's hard. I know today we were doing a dress rehearsal for our chorus concert. That's tomorrow. And one of his friends, who I'm still friends with, and he seems to be so cool with me, so good for that. But I don't know what he was doing there. I guess he was just saying hi to everyone in there, and I was on the stage with my chorus class, and we were in the middle, or we were just about to start singing, and my teacher stopped to talk to the pianist and just talk about how the song should be played, and I just saw him, and my eyes just welled up with tears. And the first thought that came to my head is, he looks so handsome in that jacket. And obviously, like, when I'm not around him, I'm okay. I'm really okay. But I just never prepared myself to see him. My cousin told me just to look the other way. But when you're on stage and all you can see is the whole auditorium, it's hard to just look away. It was hard. And the first thought, I just thought that he was so handsome in his white jean jacket with his hat on. And my friends saw me tear up. They were like, "Don't you cry, he's not worth your tears." And I didn't, because we were gonna sing. And I just kept it in. And then I just kept it in. I didn't cry at that moment. I know he's gonna be there tomorrow to support his girlfriend, girl, whoever she is to him at this point. And I know he's gonna be there, and I'm preparing myself to see him. And I just hope I don't break down crying in the middle of the song or songs. It's hard. Right now, I'm not alright. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not alright. I'm not gonna be alright for a while at least. Because he was my first actual boyfriend. And it's hard to see someone that you care so much about and you gave everything to and you devoted a lot of time to, and it's just, you act like you're complete strangers to each other as if you're enemies. It's hard to go through that. I know some people at school, their exes, they're okay with their exes, like they'll talk to each other, and it's good for them. But it's not okay to act like strangers. And of course, I don't want to be buddy with him because it's just gonna hurt even more. Because what I have for him is still there. It's not going away anytime soon. And I don't know. Like, I don't want to see him, but if I do, I don't want him and I to pretend like we don't know each other in the halls. Even if it's the last 2 months of school, prom is next week. I don't want to pretend like he was nothing to me. I don't want to pretend that he was not my boyfriend of 3 years. I don't want to pretend that he gave me the world and I gave him the world. I don't want to pretend like we were never a thing, that we never met each other, that we just weren't. I don't want to pretend like that. And it sucks. It sucks a lot. But I don't know. I don't even know where I'm going with this anymore. Probably just later. That's practically how my first real relationship ended. You know, I left a lot of stuff, but I don't want to go back and talk about them. I know I say I'm over the situation, and I am. I don't want to talk about the situation anymore, but sometimes I just want to talk about him. I want to talk about how he's doing. I want to talk about how he's feeling, if he's okay, if he's avoiding tomatoes and avocados. I want to see if he's still practicing for his tournament that's next weekend. I want to know if he got a suit for prom. I want to know. I don't know. I don't want to know, but I want to know. It hurts. It just hurts a lot. And I'm not going to say that I hate him or that he was the worst, because he wasn't. Of course, how things turned out in the end wasn't the way that it was supposed to. But and the way that it ended shouldn't be the way that it should have ended, but it was the way that it was. And I love him, and I still care for him. I still care about his health. I still care about how he is. I hope that he's doing good. I hope he's focusing on his studies. I hope he's practicing for his driver's test. I hope he's avoiding any fruit. I hope he's happy, even when I'm not. I know he's happy. That's the funny part. I know he is. That's what sucks. That's the worst part, is I know he's happy when I'm not there. But I know this is a new beginning for me, which is just a harsh way of saying this is the new chapter in your life. This is it. This is who you are. And this is who you are as a person. I don't know. I don't know anymore. I don't know. Sometimes I just wanna wake up and get a good morning text, and that says, I love you and I miss you and I can't wait to see you this weekend. No, that's not true. I know it's not. Sometimes I wish it was. I know it's not. I'm slowly accepting the fact I'm living the life that I did want to live. But it is what it is. I can't really change that. Yeah. Just breakups. At least now, I can actually focus on my mental health. I can focus on me, focus on my studies, focus on my family more, focus on my friends, focus on other stuff besides him. And I think that's what we both need. So focus on ourselves and everyone around us besides each other. And that's what I'm slowly learning to do. I'm not there yet, but I will be eventually. Now I'll start posting more since I have nothing to worry about, but maybe not so soon. Maybe not. I don't know. What? I see this as a stepping stone in my life. I see this as a new chapter in the book. I see this as one breakup closer to whoever I marry or to whoever I grow old with. Because now I know I know what to look for, I know what to do, I know that I need to love myself before loving anyone else, and I just know, this is just another lesson to learn. This is already, the chapter's ended, and this is my new chapter in my life. It's corny, but it's true. And if any of you ever go through a breakup, that just know it's okay to be sad. It's okay to cry. It's okay to feel weak. It's okay to feel vulnerable. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to be like, it's okay to just wanna be in a ball and cry. But it's not okay to isolate yourself from the people who care about you a lot and care about your well-being. Because even when you're at your lowest point, there are people that care about you and that care about where you are. Even your family, even when the ones people that you argue the most with, they care about you a lot. They really do, especially your friends. Maybe at the moment you feel like no one's there for you, no one's there, but there's someone there. There's always. It doesn't matter. But whoever go through a breakup or any hardships, just know it's okay to feel sad, vulnerable, just weak. I know people say put on a brave face in front of them, show them that you don't care, but it's okay to care. I know a lot of my friends say just don't cry, just show that you're doing better, but I'm not. I can't pretend that I'm okay. I can't pretend that I'm happy when I'm not. I can't just fake my emotions sometimes it's okay to, but when you're actually hurting, just don't. Just let it out, because the more you bottle it up, the harder it is to keep it all in. And just understand that now. Now I focus on me. I focus on my mental well-being. And now, hopefully after this video, I feel a little better. Because now I don't really get to hear the feedback immediately from people. I don't get to hear what everyone else is telling me. I just say what it's on my mind. But hopefully I'll see you guys in the next video.